Hello and welcome back to the finishing line and what could be the very final show of the finishing line. It's myself and Sean here tonight. We've been let loose. As some of you've already put in the comments, and not like Tom to be late. You leave me in charge and I'm 3 minutes late. What a surprise. You are coming back to a show tonight, though, that is going to be filled with value. There's only one half of the fence on this show tonight. Me and Sean taking the ropes. We are going to give you all the winners you need for the Dublin Racing Festival. We are going to be in attendance. And before you ask, we are going to cheer on Honeysuckle. And we're not going to be looking for €2 at the back of the stand out the tarmac. So we are here to give you all the racing support that you need for a great weekend. So look, Sean, how are you? Looking forward to this?
Oh, Jesus, Tom, what an entrance. You couldn't have done that better, let me tell you. If it's smashing weekends racing in course, we're off to Leopardstown. What more could we want?
Oh, look, it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. Good weekend away with the lads. Fantastic racing. A few winners hopefully, and hopefully we can tip a few.
Yeah, hopefully you've not put too much pressure on telling everyone we're going to give them all the winners. So let's go.
I think we've got a good few winners tonight. So we'll kick straight into it. The first race. This is what's great about the Dublin Racing Festival is it just hits you from the start. It's like bang, bang, bang. There's no maiden hurdle. There's no handicap. It's like 4 grade 1s straight away, straight into it. The first race is the 2-6 Nathaniel Lacy and Partner Solicitors. €50,000 Cheltenham bonus for stable staff. Novice Hurdle grade 1. Goodland is the favourite for Barry Connell and Michael O'Sullivan, 11-4. Quay de Paris, Willie Mullins, Paul Townend's chosen ride in this 11-2. We've all been caught. Nigel Twiston-Davis, Sam Twiston-Davis, they're coming over. They're the only challengers in grade 1s, I think, from the UK this weekend. So great to see them here. Sandor Clegane, who I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, Dave would have put up if he was here. Paul Nolan, Sean O'Keefe, 6-1. American Mike, 13-2. Gordon Elliott, David Russell. Grange Clare West, Absolute Notions, Deep Cove, and Cool Survivor make up the rest of the field. Sean, where are you going here?
Yeah, what a race to kick off. As you said, no hanging about. We're straight into the grade 1s. Goodlands, I think they do have the right favourite in here now. Do I think he's going to get it as easy as he did at Christmas on front? Definitely not. I can see a bit of pace in here. Then you come down to Quay de Paris, who I think for me it's just come a little bit short. Just with Paul Townend being number 1, he's been clipped half in price, and he's getting a little bit short in there for me. And then we have comeback missions for the likes of American Mike and Grange Clare West. Can you trust them to come back to their best? So I've come with the British rider of the weekend, I think, and it's Twiston-Davis' horse. He had a great form boost the last day when Rock My World won at Cheltenham last weekend. I think he was very raw when he was beating him that day. I think he had a couple of more lengths in him. He didn't do an awful lot when he hit the front. And I think at 6-1, in a race where I can see a lot of pace here, and he might be able to sit up there, he'll love a stamina test, and he'll be definitely finishing. So we've all been caught in the force there for me.
I have to say I'm agreeing with you, Sean. I've landed on we've all been caught each way. I think he's cracking each way, but I've done an each way treble for I think it's the first day. So I'll talk about that a bit later on. But this is the first leg of the each way treble anyway. I think he's going to be right bang there. If you look at his form with Rock My Way, who also ties in with the It's From Me form. Wonder how many times they're going to be able to get him in tonight, and he's not even but yeah, like that form looks strong. They were 23 lengths clear of the rest. And I felt from his first run to his second run, we've all been caught improved. And I think that's a positive sign. He looks like a big, strong galloper. I'm sure Sam would be very handy on him and make plenty of use of him. And yeah, I'm pretty keen on him, actually. I can't see him out of the places anyway. Goodland, I was a fan of him at Christmas. I put him up and I backed him. Tagman's let the form down a little bit next time out, but he's obviously a good horse. But I just think there could be one in here that might be a bit better than him. Quay de Paris is obviously another Willie Mullins. Tremor, 1-5 shot around Tremor has gone and won well. Who knows? Could be anything. But yeah, we'll take him on. Sandor Clegane bolted up the last day, didn't he? Dave is a massive fan of that horse. He really is. And then you've got 2 on the comeback trail. You got American Mike, who finished like nearly at a war when he finished second at Navan. It'll be interesting. I think they found a problem with him. I'm not sure what it was, but I do remember hearing Gordon say, look, we found an issue with him. If he could come back to his bumper form, he's a huge price. And Grange Clare West was really highly touted before the run in Naas. Interesting to see they're coming back here so quickly. They're obviously trying a great deal wrong with him.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting with them too. Now, as you say, comeback missions. American Mikey comes back to the test is well entitled, and as you say, Grange Clare West came with a big one. So it'd be a race where I wouldn't be going too heavy first one in. I think it's very competitive, and I think it'd be a very good race. We'll learn a lot for the Bartlett going forward, won't we?
Yeah, absolute notions as well. Like his form isn't bad at all. Deep Cove, who he beat in his maiden, has won and is in here again. And then he was behind Free Card Bragging in the pocket at Naas. Like that's not a bad run either. He was bought for 370 grand after winning. I think he won the Land Rover Bumper, didn't he? That also, yeah, he did. So yeah, look, there's a lot of strength and depth here. If something could go out and be very, very impressive here, they rocket to the top of the market, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the second race, 155, the 2 mile Donoghue Marquis Spring Juvenile Hurdle, another grade 1. We got Lossy Mouth in here, 4-11, head of the market. Garner Marceau chased her home last time. She's 5-1. Strange betting race this for me with the dead 8. I'm interested in this because Gust of Wind is in next at 14s, then Takao at 14s, ascending at 25-1, and 40s Bar. Sean, how do you see this guy? Is Lossy Mouth, is she going to just bolt up again like she did at Christmas?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I find it hard to play against Lossy Mouth here. I think I can't see that form being thrown with Garland Marceau. But what I will say is I think the two are the best in the field, and I could very easily see them being a good couple of lengths clear. So there's no markets out yet, but the 4 cars market might be a way for people to play. If you don't like the 1 to 3 shots, not many of us are going to be playing those. So come the day, you might get a nice price if you get Lossy Mouth 1 and Garland Marceau 2. Takao, I don't know about Takao. I don't know if he's that Boodle's horse that people think he is. His race at Leopardstown the last day was a muddling race, and they absolutely walked. I don't think we learned too much. And as you say, Gust of Wind and Sinza, who was 4th behind Lossy Mouth and France in her only run. So a couple of Willie Mullins newcomers in here. Quite an interesting race.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Look, it is hard to take on Lossy Mouth. She looks much the best at Christmas. Garner Marceau was backed off the boards. I was up there that day, and there was some amount of support for her. But Lossy Mouth easily put her away by 7 lengths. That was Garner Marceau's first run of the season, but I think it'd be very hard to change the form around. The one for me, if the way I'm looking at this is I'm looking at the 3 down the bottom. Sinza's going to have to be very, very good, and she's 40-1. Unless there was a lot of money for her, I'd take her on. And there's 3 of them there who you're probably not giving much chance to. Ascending, I'd take him on as well. Takao, yeah, I know what you mean, Sean. I'm not a massive fan. The one I'm interested in, Gust of Wind, was won very well at Otoy on her first start, and then beat a horse called Jazzy Matty, who Gordon Elliott has since got. That finished 5th that day, being 29 lengths. It's come out and won a maiden hurdle. Was second in the maiden hurdle and then won a maiden hurdle. It's going to be rated about 120. I think that Gust of Wind is the bet here. And she is the second leg of the each way, or he is, sorry, the second leg of the each way treble. I think he could be a very, very interesting horse going forward. So that's the one for me.
Yeah, definitely. Like he might get a bit of money as well, won't you, Tom? Like if 1 run for Willie Mullins, I think people want to be on side if they don't like that short favourite. And as you said, he has good form that you represented over there as well.
I just think the market looks wrong. Like, Lossy Mouth, fine. You can say she's definitely going to fill one of the 3 places. Garland Marceau, you'd expect her to as well. You've then still got 1 place to fill, or potentially one of those. It doesn't always happen that they're always in the first 3. And then I think you've got Gust of Wind, Takao, and Ascending, who are the 3 horses who have a chance of being in the 3. And at 14s, I just think that's way too big. I can't look. I think money will come for one of those, and I think one of those will go off 8-1 or something like that. There's no way, especially if we stay with a dead 8 runners. There's no way that It's going to be
with the each way markets.
Yeah, there's no way the market's going to shape up looking like that come the off. We go bang again then with the third race, another Grade 1, and potentially the race of the weekend, I think, for me. The 2 mile one, Goff's Irish Arkle Novice Chase, Grade 1 again. We said at the start of the season, and everybody did, Willie Mullins could run the Arkle at Clough Sutton if he wanted to. And in fairness to him, he is running the Arkle himself. However, he's decided to bring them all to Leopardstown and give us all a watch so it's not behind closed doors. He has in this race, Appreciate It, Dysart Dynamo, El Fabiolo, Santois, and Flame Bearer. It is insane. This race I would not look out of shape anywhere. And this is again what we say about the Dublin Racing Festival. You get tickets for 50 quid. They're on sale for ages at 50 quid. And when they go up from 50 quid, they go up to 60 quid. And that's for the weekend, not for one day. The value is unbelievable. It's a really good time. If you haven't been to Leopardstown, it's a really easy course to move around as well. It's compact. It's big enough, but it's compact at the same time.
It's a great atmosphere out there, and it's so easy to get there for the city centre. Anybody's coming over, like fantastic, it's a great. Yeah, it's out a nice bit, and it's very accessible, and it's a great weekend. As I'm sure you'll see it across all social medias this weekend. I don't think you'll see one person not enjoying it, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I suppose we're probably talking to our UK listeners here. If you're thinking about coming over, it's really, really accessible. And it's not like some of those courses, say Cheltenham at the festival, where you get stuck in one place and you can't move. Like, if you go down to one end, you miss the next race. Leopardstown's not like that. You'll be able to move around there easily. But this race, I think it's a race of the weekend for me. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of all of the first three in the market. I'm probably going to back something on the day, to be honest, to have an interest. I don't know what it's going to be. I think I'm going to be very price dependent on this race. El Fabiolo, I don't think you should underestimate him. He's 6-1. If anyone offered me a match bet with El Fabiolo and Banbridge, they're basically the same price. I'd take El Fabiolo all day long. So I'd say that probably tells you where I'm leaning at the prices. Dysart Dynamo was electric last day. He's got to go and do it again. But by God, he was good. He looks so exciting. And then Appreciate It. I know, Sean, you're a massive fan of him. Some people have said he hasn't got the gears. To be honest, I think he has. And some people have also said he jumps too slow. I'm not having that for a minute. So, look, they've all got their chance. I just hope they put on a proper show. And that's before we get to the Grade 1 winner over fences, Santois. Phil Dorr, who was very impressive before that, and Flame Bearer. And don't forget, Visionarian is 40-1, and he was second in the Grade 1 last time out for Peter Faggy. So, fantastic race.
Yeah, this is an incredible race. This is definitely the best race of the weekend for me, as you said, Tom. This would not look out. If this was the Arkle lining up, no one would even flinch. No, I don't think. This definitely has the credentials to be at a champion race. As you said, Appreciate It's my little horse, and I will be sticking through him through thick and thin. I think that he's going to relish this now, because you're going to have Dysart Dynamo, who's going to have a horse to aim at. And as you said, people who are saying they think he's a Turner's horse, he hasn't got the speed. I thought I rubbished that early on in the season. I thought he's no problem. He's second in the champion bumper. He won a Supreme. He definitely shows that he has speed. I think Dysart Dynamo, I wanted to take him on just simply because as Cheltenham last year when he blew out in a big race, then Punchestown again, and the races that he's won in they've been bang average horses in behind, to be honest with you. And at Christmas, they absolutely dawdled around that place. He jumped. He shows he could jump. But I wouldn't be taking that form any further than that. And anyways,
he was electric though, wasn't he? In fairness,
he was. No, he jumped great. But I just want to take him on. I think he's going to get taken on up in front. And I think that'd be interesting to see. I think it could set it up perfect for Appreciate It. And as you said, El Fabiolo, I could see him definitely not leading. He won't be out in front with Dysart. I could see him taking the lead. I could see Banbridge up there on the pace. And I'd be hoping we turn in and Appreciate It has the nail on Dysart's Dynamo back. And Paul kicks him down the last and he goes away to win by a couple of lengths. And we take on John Bond at Cheltenham.
I just see that Shishkin Ben has offered me a match bet in the comments with Banbridge. Ben, I'll take that. I'll take that for a tenner, please. I think I've got a hell of a chance there. I'm probably leaning towards him each way, but it's going to be a fantastic race. there are so many fantastic races that, you know, you don't really need to go overboard in the betting on this week. It's, you know, maybe have a little bet for an interest, but it's just, the racing is just insane. And as I said at the start, this is what I love about the Dublin Racing Festival. Bang again, 4th race, 3:05, 3 mile, Paddy Power Irish Gold Cup. Just when you're catching your breath after the Arkle and all those fantastic 2 mile chases, and you turn around, and this happened last year, and we were like, Jesus, like, what's next? You know, normal races, normal day at the races, you turn around to lads, what's next? Irish Gold Cup's next, lads, Galloping des Champs. It's like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
And, it's a fantastic day. I can't talk highly enough of it, but Galloping des Champs is in here at 1-3. Statler is 5-1. Kenboy 14-1. Fury Road 25s. Any Second Now 33s. The Big Dog for Peter Fahey 40-1. And Franco de Port, who should have gone to the bloody Tie Estes. We know why he didn't now, because they all had carefully selected in Close Sutton, and he is 50-1. Sean, where are you leading? Can Galloping get beat?
I'm going to stand in the stands and enjoy every minute of watching Galloping going around here, let me tell you. They'll be carrying none of my money, but I will enjoy every moment of this. I think he's going to put in the performance that we want to see. He stepped up to 3 miles for the first time. I think he's going to put any doubts in people's minds. I think he doesn't stay and put to bed. I think he's just a cut above all of this, and I could see an impressive performance happening on Saturday. That's going to just wow us. And I think he's already short in the Gold Cup market. If he goes and wins again by 5-10 lengths, I could see him going even shorter again.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I put question marks over him on last season. I didn't think his form was fantastic. I thought he was too keen. I thought he jumped too big, which he did. And he came out at Punchestown in the John Durkin. He dropped the bridle, settled like a bloody seasoned handicapper. And jumped away like one too, didn't he? He was absolutely fantastic. And look, you can knock the form of that, but he went and did it by 13 lengths. This is his next test now, isn't it? And I think his biggest opposition by far and away is Statler. You know, he had to give Benella Indo weight there in Tremor. He gave him £8. He got beat. He looked like he was going to win. Benella Indo put his head down that day. And I think, as we were saying, like Henry, I'd say, had him ripe for that race. And that was Statler's first run around a course that probably wouldn't suit him. So yeah, I'm going to probably back the forecast. I think Galloping will beat Statler. I think Statler's miles clear of the rest of them. If you look at their ratings, go on, Sean.
Yeah, no, I just think with the English last week when we seen the Cotswold, that wasn't a great sight, was it at all, when we seen a high senior, and he has a real chance here to go and stamp. And as you said, I think the two at the top, the novices coming out, and might be a cut above these, and I could see them putting a bit of distance between them and stamping their class.
Yeah, I think so as well. I was just going to say, you look at the ratings, like Any Second Now is rated 162, Statler's on 163. I would say he's at least 5 to 10 lengths better Statler than Any Second Now. And that's no disrespect to him. These horses are running in an Irish Gold Cup for a reason. But Kenboy's on 160, Fury Rose on 158, the Big Dog 158, Franco de Port 157. I think then Kenboy obviously runs his race every time, doesn't he? It seems, but I think some of them there are very high level handicappers. Whereas I think Statler is the one who could take that step up and be a high 160s rated horse. So yeah, I'm gonna play the forecast there, Galloping and Statler. So we are going to move on, and what we're going to move on to is the Grade 2 bumper. We're going to touch on the handicaps later. We're probably going to end up going through all of them. I think I've got a pick in every one of them anyway.
I have a couple of picks for the handicaps too as well, yeah.
I'm sure Sean has as well. But we'll skip on first to the Shabra Charity Oliver Brady Memorial Future Stars bumper, Grade 2. What a character Oliver Brady was. We could do with a few more like him knocking around now, couldn't we? Facile Mode, the bumper winner from Leopardstown at Christmas, is heading the market here at 3-1. Better Days Ahead is in at 4s. Factor File 4s. Chosen Witness 5. Ferranilli 7-1, and A Dream to Share 12-1. 14-1 bar. Sean, Facile mode apparently was very good on the Rolex last time I heard. So are you siding with him with the trusty Rolex?
I'm not. He was very good on the clock, but I think the £7 that he got that day might have helped him. The jockey was claiming 7 off him, and I think that just might have helped him. I'd want to see him go and do that again now for me. Just to confirm that it is there. Better days ahead, I'd be willing to take him on. I found it very interesting that Patrick Mullen comes for Factor Foil. There was a big talk about him, and I know he didn't look great at Christmas, but he seemed like he was learning a lot that day, didn't he? And like
he looked slow to me. He looked slow about.
Yeah, he looked like he was. I found it very interesting that he got on him. I thought the most taken Willie Mullins' horse was definitely Chosen Witness down at Limerick that day. But I sided with Ferronelli. Is it? Ferronelli?
Ferronelli. Yeah, let's go with Ferronelli. Emmett Mullins' horse with Derek O'Connor on board. That one for certain. Number 9 in the blue colours.
That's the one, Tom. I know the Mullins really like this Illil Antique that he was beaten by the last day, and he doesn't qualify because he went in hurdles. So I'd imagine he would have been running here if he qualified. He gave him a good race, and the Tour has come out to win since at Down Royal it was last week, where he beat Willie Mullins' horse by 16 lengths. I just thought at a bit of a price, I'd have a little each way go on Ferronelli in that race. But I wouldn't be putting anyone off the likes of. There's some nice horses in there at bigger prices, like Special Cadeau. He could improve a lot, and Largy Hill, like they've all won. So if anybody was looking to take it outside of here, I wouldn't be going against it. And Tom, I think me and you'll be sitting in the stands hoping that these finish in a little bit of a heap, wouldn't we? That it's for me form. We don't get too worried about.
Yeah, if one of these comes out and absolutely batters the field, I think one we're going to be worried. 2, we're never going to hear the end of it off the lads for the whole of the rest of the weekend. So look, I don't think they will. I see what you mean by facile mode. It's very. I think I said it. I think I just said it in our WhatsApp group. It's so interesting that he hasn't been sold. Really strange, to be honest. Thomas Mullins is a selling yard. And you would wonder why he hasn't sold him at least to stay in the yard. You know, JP's been a massive supporter of his recently and in recent times, and strangely hasn't been sold, that horse. But he's in fantastic form, Tom Mullins. He's had 2 winners now in the past 14 days. His stable is clearly on fire, and that horse was very impressive on his first start. So I wouldn't put anyone off him. I am going to take him on. I thought Factor File won't be with Factor File anyway. I thought he was slow. He's going to come out and he's going to have to change that around. I thought Chosen Witness was very good down in Limerick, but I felt, again, the ground and the extra trip could have helped him there and made that win look a little bit better than it did. One I'll throw up at a big price is a Dream to Share. John Kiley had a winner the other day as well. There's no way he'd be running in this race if he didn't think he had the horse 100%. I know it's been off since June. You may look at this and say it won a bumper Tipperary in May and a bumper at Roscommon in June, but I think he's a fair lot better than that. I wouldn't underestimate him at all. He's 12-1. I think I'll have a sneaky little each way bet on him. He'll be a classic John Kiley horse as well. Dropped out the back in a bumper and coming with a very late run under John Gleeson. The one I'm going to go with, though, is Better Days Ahead. I'm quite keen on this lad. He went off 1-3 at Down Royal in November. I think everybody thought he was going to win, and then he came out and beat a horse who was very, very highly touted, Chapeau du Soleil, the Willie Mullins horse, who was still near the head of the champion bumper market. But that day, all the talk coming out of that was all about Chapeau du Soleil, how he didn't do things properly and he only got running in the final few yards. I think that's very unfair on Better Days Ahead. I think he absolutely cantered into that race. He quickened when Jamie Codd asked him, and he just got nudged out all the way to the line. Yes, Chapeau du Soleil closed some of the gap, but I have a feeling there was a hell of a lot more under the bonnet for Better Days Ahead. So I'm quite keen on him. So in this race, yeah, I'm gonna small stakes. They're bumpers. They improve at God knows what rates, but a small bet on Better Days Ahead and a small each way bet on a Dream to Share. Sean, I'm going to throw it at you. What would be your best bet of Saturday? in the
Best
race
bet of
we talked about, because it could come in the handicaps. I know.
it wasn't a handicap, so I'll pull it back.
Okay.
My best bet would it's a very competitive race now, but appreciate it at 15 to 8, 2 to 1. He would be my best bet out of the ones that we've covered.
Very good. I think my two out of those would be We've All Been Caught each way, and Gust of Wind each way. I think they're probably the most sensible bets at the prices for me. But there are a few bets in there. I think we can get excited about some of those races.
Yeah.
We will move on to Leopardstown. Sunday, the 5th of February, 1:10. Sean will be up. We'll have had the breakfast. I won't lie. I was in a bit of condition this day.
I was just about to say, Tom, are you definitely gonna have breakfast on this Sunday morning?
No, there is. When I'm hungover, I can't eat much breakfast. I just can't eat. Like I'm just in bits. And there may have been a time that we walked into Leopardstown and the sun was shining, and I was there going to Dave. I'd look at the sun and go, "No fences." Turn around to Dave and go, "Fences." No fences, fences. Dave just stood at me. He was like, he has lost it. Like, he's actually lost it. And I was probably still drunk, to be honest. But it was a fantastic day. Absolutely hanging the second day, though. So they do give you a little bit of a breather. They let you get the breakfast in. You got to be there for about 12:30. You're all ready to go. And they ease you in gently with the Paddy Mullen's Mares Handicap Hurdle. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip that one now. And we're going to jump straight onto the 140, which is the Ladbrokes Novice Chase, Grade 1, 2 mile 5. Mighty Potter is heading the market for this at 13 to 8. Obviously, really, really impressive in the Drinmore earlier in the season. James de Burley, 7 to 2. Galliard de Mesnil, 5 to 1. Should just say we don't have confirmed runners for this yet. They're out tomorrow morning. We've still got Jerry Colombe in there, who is going over to Sandown on Saturday. El Fabiolo as well, but he's running in the Arkle. And then you've got Journey with Me at 8 to 1 and Churchtown Warrior of 14s. Where are you siding here, Sean? Is it will Mighty Potter hold up that Drinmore form?
I've never taken the Mighty Potter, and I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. I've always wanted to take him on. Just it's jumping for me now. This is going to be a proper test down the back for him. I don't think he'll get away with hitting them 2 fences the way he did at Fairyhouse at Leopardstown. I haven't taken to him at all, to be honest with you. And James de Burley is the horse that I put up at the start of the season for the 3 mile race. And I don't know if he's going to go there or not. I'd say how this race is going to go is going to depend on that. But he showed form when he ran over 3 miles against just behind Classical Dream. And then he came out this season after 600 plus days off. And he was very fresh and loved fences. He took off with Darryl Jacob. And as you said, I don't think we learned much. Now, this is a mega step up in class. But at a price of 7 to 2, I think if Mighty Potter doesn't screw up on his jumping, James de Burley jumps very well. And put under pressure, he'd be staying all day. So I think it makes a great race. And I just side with James de Burley over Mighty Potter.
I'm with you, actually. The prices, 7 to 2 James de Burley, 13 to 8 Mighty Potter. Start with Mighty Potter. I thought he was very good in the Drinmore. I thought he became a man that day. He's been a bit of a teenager, messing around a little bit, mind not really on the job. And I think he got thrown into that race, and I was very impressed with him. Galliard de Mesnil came out and backed the form up, didn't he, then at the Leopardstown, but admittedly that race kind of fell apart. It'll be interesting to see, can he back that up? I'm not going to back him at 13 to 8 to go and do that, though. Galliard de Mesnil, I don't know if he's going to run here. And then the next 2 in the market are out. And then you're on to Journey with Me and Kilcrut and those. I'm quite sweet on James de Burley here. If you look, he was a very, very good horse in France. He won plenty of races. He was placed second. He got beaten a short neck and a short head in 2 grade 1s. Like, that must have been sickening for Connections to have to go through that. He then came over, and after a break, they threw him in. They ran him straight to the Champion Hurdle. He got well beaten in that, and they went to Punchestown afterwards, and he was second behind Classical Dream in the Champion Stayers. That kind of showed to me, and obviously Willie Munns as well, that his future lay over further than 2 miles. and he was very good, I thought, at Fairy House. Wasn't the greatest race in the world, but he came out and did it very well. He jumped really well. I thought he really took to it. If they can keep a lid on him here, then I think he's going to be very hard to beat. And I think he could win this. I actually think he could win it well. So,
I'd be hoping he goes through the line here now hard, because I think he could make Willie Mullins' mind up for the 3 mile race, and maybe put Sir Gerhard down to the turners. I know he came out and said 3 miles for him, but I think James de Bourlay is going to play Willie's card in terms of the novice chases at the further distances.
Yeah, I can't see Sir Gerhard going 3 miles. I can't see them stepping up like that. So, I think James de Bourlay. I'm not sure. We'll see where he goes after this, but I think he could handle 2.5, or he could handle 3 miles, to be honest. The next race, the 2:10, is the 2 mile one, Ladbrokes Dublin Chase Grade 1. Blue Lord, who's becoming a favourite of mine, heads the market 1-3. Gentleman de Me 6-1. So Royal 8-1. Dunvegan 16-1. Fast or Slow 50-1. This is surely all about Blue Lord and how far he wins.
Yeah, if you ask me for one odds-on shot this weekend, if you would beat me, Joe would hit the floor. It'd probably be Blue Lord, to be honest with you, because he's beaten all these very convincingly. I think this will be a penalty kick for him, and as you said, I would be dead shocked if he doesn't win this, and quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think this will be a 1-2 actually for the Simon Munier and Isaac Swade, the double green team. I think So Royal is coming over here at the age of 11. I fancy him to chase him home actually. I think they could definitely take the 1-2. I know I put Blue Lord up, but I think 20s for the Ryanair. And even after the Leopardstown win, I was still thinking, it might be in here. But then Shakinov has obviously run not very well. They're on about putting him up in trip, or whether he goes to Cheltenham, I don't know. And Nergamine has then come out and blotted his copybook in the Slur Chase, I think it is, isn't it? At Cheltenham last week. That's not the Slur Chase, is it?
Oh no, sorry. The Clarence House.
Clarence House, of course, tricking me moving it from Ascot. But yeah, he's come out and got beaten there. So if an Ergamine came out and absolutely bolted up, I still thought there was half a chance Blue Lord, if Allaho didn't run, could go for the Ryanair. But now he's been beat. I think it's wide open for Blue Lord to go for the Champion Chase, and I think he's entitled to. He should jump around here and beat these easily. He's a bit like Mighty Potter. He's been that teenager, and now he's grown up now this year. And I think he's going to turn into a serious racehorse.
Yeah, he was really polished at Christmas, wasn't he? And he's probably going to have Dunvegan to take him along here, and he'll have something to aim at. And I imagine it'd be pretty much like Christmas, kick him down the last, and he put a couple of lengths into them, no problem.
I think that is the problem of what he was doing. He was winning, but when he got to the front, he was pricking his ears and running around. I don't think anyone really expected for him to do what he did at Christmas. I thought he could win all right. I didn't think he'd go and bolt up by that far.
Yeah, he definitely grown up a lot, as you said.
Okay. The 310, we'll skip the handicap. We'll go on to the 310. This is the big one. The Chanel Farmer Irish Champion Hurdle, 2 mile, Grade 1. Stateman 5-4, Honeysuckle 15-8, Vauban 130, Pied Piper, Zanahir, and Takarengo make up the field at wild prices. Sean, what's the strategy for this? I know my strategy. I want to know yours though.
The strategy is going to be head over heart. My heart would want to see Honey win it, but my head is saying Stateman. And it's just, you can't grab Honeysuckle, let's be honest. I run that the last day when she came toward has turned out not to be really like poor at all, with the Hugo coming out and winning. It's just that the Henry de Bromhead stable form really worries me. He's at a current strike rate of 7% for the last 2 for 27. I just don't think they're finishing. We talk about in our group chat a bit. They just haven't looked like they are finishing. And I just wonder if there's something going down there. And Honeysuckle, listen, I'd love to see her cross the finish line. I'd be cheering her on the whole way. But Stateman for me is big opposition here. I think could easily be the best 2 miler she's taken on up until now. And his jump on the first day wasn't the best, but he slickened up a lot at Christmas the last day. And he won quite easy in the end. If you watch, Paul only gives him a slap down the neck. He wasn't even fully ridden out, and he put length into Vauban at the end, and he wasn't stopping at all. I think State Man, I'm gonna go with him over Honeysuckle, and I hope he gets a smashing race and she goes out fighting on our sword.
Yeah. You see, I love racing, so I'm not having a bet in this. My head maybe says State Man to take a chance on him. But my heart is definitely with Honeysuckle. I can stand at the stands, I'm gonna cheer her on, and by God, if she wins, that place will go wild. It will there won't be another winner get a reception like she does if she can win that race. I hope to God she can. Henry came out and gave a really positive update about her in the press today. Yeah, and I just think almost like there's nothing to lose now. I think the pressure going racing with a horse who's unbeaten, like it must be very difficult. I've kind of seen in a glimpse into it, and it looks like it's hard. There's nothing to lose now. I think Rachel will go out there. She can be, she can chill. She can go out and relax, and it's not just God. I've got to get this horse head in front of me. She can go ride her race. State Man, he's looked very good, hasn't he? He's looked very good. I don't buy this that Vauban will reverse the form with him. I just think State Man's a better horse. I know Danny went for the run upside the rail, but I think he was doing that because he didn't have anywhere near enough horse to try and get out around Paul. So I can't see him reversing the form. Can you?
No, I can't see Vauban. I did at the start, and then I went and watched, and I was like, no, not at all. I thought immediately after the race, would he have a chance? But as I said, like Honeysuckle, she's only been beaten once now, and it's not like she finished very poorly the last day. Like she fought all the way to the line. She's probably just outstayed by stronger slayers that day in Classical Dream and the Hoopoo. But I just think if State Man was to give her £7, we really need to give this horse a lot of credit, don't we? I know Constitution Hill's around this year, but he's some horse if he's able to give her £7 and put her away tidy.
Yeah, and look, let's go back to Hatton's Grace for a second, as you say. It was really soft ground. It was 2 mile 3.5, which probably isn't ideal for her. She's got beaten by Hoopoo and Classical Dream. She's been beaten 2 3/4 lengths in total by the two of them. There's 30 lengths back to Ashdale Bob, who's no mug. I know Echoes and Rain fell in behind, but she was going to well beat Echoes and Rain as well. Hoopoo's come out and absolutely franked the form, no end. And Classical Dream sounds like he's injured and isn't going to run this season. But yeah, like you say, she jumped. I was there that day, and when they turned in and she jumped the second last, you were like, oh, well, she's going to go ahead and win. And whether she just got outstayed, whether she wasn't 100%, I don't know. But she's still got every chance. He's got to go and give her £7. Like this will be the performance of his career so far. I mean, I know he's only ran 7 times, but this will have to be another step up to go and give her £7 because I know she got beat last time, but 16 other times they've tried and they've failed. So I'm going to be cheering on Honey. I think she's got.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible race. I just hope the both of them come down the last and we get a smashing finish. That'll be great.
Oh, it'd be great if the 3 of them, State Man, Honeysuckle, and Vauban, all turned in with some kind of chance. And I just think the roof will come off if she wins. And I think that'll be led by a few of us anyway. Not you though, Sean. You're back in State Man. I tell you, there's a few lads now coming with us. There's about 10 or 11 of us, I think. And if anyone start roaring on State Man, if they're coming down to the last together, I'm telling you, I'll walk off. You won't see me for the rest of the day. You gotta put money to the side for a second now. If she's got a chance coming down to last, everyone's got to get behind Honeysuckle.
None of this
going behind the stand looking for €2 and taking the tarmac. Cheer on bloody Honeysuckle.
Yeah.
The next race then, and again back to the bangs that Leopardstown and the Dublin Racing Festival gives to you. You come straight out of the Irish Champion Hurdle and you go straight into the Tassels's Island Novice Hurdle Grade 1 over 2 miles, and you've got Facile Vega to look forward to. He's 2 to 5 in the market here. Gaelic Warrior's in, but he's not running. We'll get to the handicaps. This
We're
horse.
sweating, Tom. We're sweating.
This horse, I can never get him right. I can just never get him right, I don't think. High Definition is in there then, 15-2. Dark Raven 10-1. Ilite Tomps 10-1. In the Pocket 10-1. Irish Point 10-1. Sean, were you impressed with Facile Vega last time or not so much?
I was more impressed than I was the first day. I know he done it by a distance the first day, but the last day, now there was a couple of things like his jumping would want to scrub up again for me. He was guessy at 1 or 2 and he fly lead. Now he never looked like falling, but I think he'd want to just slicken that up a little bit. I can't see him beaten, to be honest with you. I'd be very surprised if he's beaten. The ones in behind, High Definition, now he'd really want to get his act together, because if he tries to do what he was doing at Christmas time, I think he jumping out to the right, and he'd really want to scrub up for me now. It'd be interested to see. There's 2 outside prices here that I'd be interested in maybe in each way if he's to run. Irish Point, I think he'd bring a great line for Marine National. He's in here at 10-1, and In the Pocket for Henry de Bromhead. He run very well the last day, and he travelled very strong on the bridle. I know he didn't find too much, but I think to drop back to 2 miles, he's definitely, if they have these declared, it's going to be the strongest he's faced so far, and we get a really good judge. But I think Willie is just notching Facile Vega up and up race by race, and I think this might be the performance that people have wanted to see. It's that 6 weeks away from Cheltenham now, and I think he'd be tuned way more up than where he was at Christmas.
Yeah, I think he was just keen at Christmas, wasn't he? And, they went to drop him in. That didn't happen. And then he's just stayed on all the way to the line. He hasn't really gone and put 20 lengths in between them. But I think they'll be quite keen to get him settled. I think they'll want something else to go on, whether an Irish Point. He was up the leaders last time, wasn't he, over further. So I know Gordon was keen to drop him back down to 2 mile, but he might be up and making it. In the Pocket is another one as well. I'm sure he'll be handy. I agree with you there. I think 2 miles will see him much better suited. It was 2 mile 4 the last day against Free Card Bragg, and I think he travelled like much the best horse in that race over 2 miles. And he just got home, but I think back to 2 miles will suit him a lot better. Dark Raven is completely unexposed and interesting, and then High Definition. Yeah, he's got to up his jumping game, hasn't he? But again, apparently the Rolex was very good.
He was.
The Rolex was very good for Leopardstown. Jatara came out and was just beaten by Asher Diamond there last weekend. And he's obviously got untold ability on the flat. He's very highly rated. So, I think you'll
definitely get the pace you're looking in for here. Ilite Tomp was supposed to do it the last day. Now, he acted a mick when he jumped the first. But if he goes and jumps the first all right, he's definitely going to go up in front. And as you said, there's a couple in there that he's probably going to definitely get his pace to aim at.
Yeah, definitely. I think you will see the performance maybe a little bit more from Facile Vega. Would I back him 2-5? Not a hope in hell's chance. This is probably, I'll wait for the final field and I'll have an each way bet in this. I'm not sure what it'll be yet. It might be maybe Irish Point, but depend what our price High Definition was. I think he's the one there that could come out. I think we know a little bit about In the Pocket and Irish Point. High Definition is just that one. If it clicks for him, he could be anything.
Funny enough, Tom, I'd probably nearly take you on there now in terms of, I think if these are all run, if In the Pocket and Irish Point runs, I'd fancy High Definition not to be in the first 3.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we might have a match day bet come Sunday, Tom.
We might have a match bet. Yeah, we'll put that on Twitter. Keep an eye on our Twitter. We'll see the final field, and I might take High Definition over something else. Yeah. But for now, we will jump on to the 440, the Coolmore National Hunt Sires, Santiago. No surprise who they're, no guesses at who they're pushing there as a stallion. Irish EBF Mares Flat Race, Grade 2. We saw a massive turn up for the books in this last year when Lily the Burley came out and won at 40-1. Ruined the Ackers. There were a couple of lads who came and stood next to us last year, and they had one lad was on for $3,000, one lad was on for like
me included.
Were you included? Was that you as well?
Yeah, I was one of them that was waiting on Think in the Park. Was it his name?
Did you come and say hello to us?
No. It's at home. I
No,
wasn't out there,
okay.
but
Just gonna say, what the hell? But yeah, she surprised us last year. She beat Pink in the park, and she's back for more. She's back for more. She's obviously had she's had an interrupted campaign. I think that's fair to say. But her one run in a listed bumper in November ties in with Jatara, who has obviously gone on to frank that form over hurdles. And I don't know, is she being overlooked here? She's 11-4. She won it last year, which is very rare to say for a bumper. But what do you think, Sean?
yeah, I think she's been incredibly overlooked. She was 6-1 earlier in the week, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I was seeing this stuff. The favourite went and won the fourth day, but I don't know what to make of that. The second Maurice Philippe, she beat the same horse by less distance than the favourite, so I understand why she's behind in the market. But Lily Dubelaise is definitely a bet in here. She'll be one of my stronger bets of the day now. As you said, won it last year with horses such as Ashrow Diamond, Pink in the Park, Liberty Dance, Nikini, Harmonia Maker. Like, there's some strength in that bumper last year. It's nowhere near the same strength this year. I could see how significant. Go ahead.
Do you not think? I think it's fairly strong. If all these turn up, I think it's a fairly good bumper.
Yeah, I just looking back at what we know about the ones in behind now. If that was an incredible bumper last year, it might have looked at the time of her winning at a big price. I think the last day I thought the jockey gave her a poor ride. Now, to be honest with you, I think he got very far back. Jatara was off the front, and she sort of kicked at a time. He went down the inside. He came back out the outside, and she was coming late. Now, my thing is, maybe she didn't take the hurdles at all. That's why she's back in here. I'd say she could have popped a few, and it hasn't worked out. And he's looked at the grade 2 to try and get more black type. And I'd say this could be her champion, to be honest with you. I think she'd be primed to go on the day. And I think she has to give him £3. But at the prices, I 100% will be back in Lily Dubelaise.
I'm going to take an angle on this, which is a little bit like Lily Dubelaise last year. She came into this having won a July Perth bumper by 6 lengths. And got very much overlooked. And I think one that's going to get overlooked is a horse called Fun, who, interestingly, was bred by Patrick Mullins and owned by Patrick Mullins on her first start. She's out of the half sister to York Hill, which is obviously why Patrick went and bought the mare. She's since been bought by Simon Muneer and Isaac Swade. They obviously think an amount of her if they're going to sell her to those caliber of owners. It's a tricky game, I'd imagine, if Patrick owns one himself or Willie owns one himself. Like, if you're going to sell it on and potentially for a lot of money, you've got to be fairly confident. Her form, she won a Sligo bumper in October over 2 mile 2. Her form is terrible if you take it literally. The ones in behind have not done anything of any note at all. However, she won by 10 lengths. Patrick even had the chance to celebrate going past the line with about half a furlong left, I'd say. She absolutely dotted up. She's only a 4-year-old. She comes into this now as a 5-year-old. And I think that she'll be overlooked in the market. I think Fancy Girl is well touted. But I'm going to take Fun. I think 9-1 is a good price. You're getting Willie Mullins in a bumper. They're going to be really fit. They're going to be ready to go. And if she runs, I think 9-1 is a cracking price each way, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that definitely. I think I wouldn't blame anyone taking on these two at the top of the markets. I could see them being a little bit vulnerable on people looking outside. Like even the John McConnell Ball Reflection, she won well down in Limerick as well. So I wouldn't put anyone off going against this short favourite in here.
Right, Sean, we are on to the handicaps.
The crunch time.
We'll stay with Sunday. I think. I think we'll go to the 240, which is the Bournemouth Leopardstown Handicap Chase, 2 mile 5 grade A. And Indigo Breeze tops the market, 7-2. Panda Boy, who was third in the Paddy Power at Christmas, is 5-1. Mascada, who was the last leg of a big bet for me at Christmas as well, is 8-1. Now Where or When is 12-1. Real Steel, who won the Paddy Power, is 12-1. Ciel de Neige is 14-1. Sean, where are we looking?
I'm going to take a swing here, Tom. I'm going to take a wild out swing. I'm going out to a 20-1 shot, and it's going to be Mars Harper. He went novice chasing this season, and he had a good run in behind Mighty Potter the first day, and then he went on to run in a grade 2, and he came second behind Midnight Run of Joshua O'Brien's. He then went back to his beginners in the Journey With Me race, and he made a very poor error, about 4 out race ending, and he was looked after. The only positive from that was he picks up a mark here, and he's off a mark of 132. I think you might get Davey up on him. I hope you might get Davey up on him where I'd see his price half, I'd say, straight away. And he's good form last season, big handicap fields. I wouldn't be too worried about him. He ran well in, was it the Thames qualifier back at Leopardstown? He ran well there. He's I really think at 20-1 he's being overlooked here. And if he gets in off a mark of 142 with form that he's shown, 132, sorry, with the form that he's shown, I think Marcus Harper has a great squeak in here at 20-1 of filling places at worst.
I've got 3, as I always have a few for the handicaps. I'll only touch on a couple of them, though, and then I'll focus on my main selection. So one of them is Mascada, very impressive in Limerick over Christmas. Was going very well when she fell at Fairyhouse, and she won well at Limerick. She beat Rebel Gold, who's come out and franked that form. She got up £9 is the only thing. Thought she was well handicapped off 132. I think this is probably getting to more like her rating, but she's clearly in very good form for Henry. And won very well at Christmas. She had a chance. My old friend Birchdale, who won this race last year, and by God, I had a right punt on him, and that really made my weekend now. He comes into this. He's entered in this anyway. He's been off since August, so I don't know if this was the plan. I'm sure it probably wasn't. He ran before this race last year.
Tom, I'm going to say it was the plan. Just for you, we're going to say, listen, this was the plan.
I don't know. I'm windy on this one. But he ran in the Paddy Power at Christmas and ran a really eye-catching race, which is why I got stuck into him last year. Look, if he ran, he is off 135, which is only £2 higher than last year. So, look, keep an eye on him, but you're taking a bit of an if there. The one I'm going to go put up, and I don't know, look, head of the market, it's only 7-2. It's a very competitive handicap, but I just think Indigo Breeze could be chucked in here. I think Indigo Breeze is probably a 140 horse on what we've seen, especially on its last run at Cheltenham. He got within 3/4 of a length of the Real Whacker, who has now come on and really franked that form. They were 47 lengths clear of the rest. The two of them absolutely canted into it. The Real Whacker is a grade 1 horse. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And Indigo Breeze ran him very, very, very close. Form before that was second to Banbridge. Again, Banbridge, a grade 1 horse. And I just think the better ground here, they've obviously waited for the better ground. 84 days, I think, off the track. Yeah, in off 133. Would have 10 stone 4 if Ciao Dinesh ran. I know he's 7-2, but by God, I think he could be an absolute handicap good thing in this. So.
Yeah, no, he definitely deserves to be favourite at the top of the market. At the time, you were looking and saying the last day against the Real Wacko, Jenny, was he a bit windy? He didn't go through it, but now you've seen what the Real Wacko has come out and done since, and I think he has a good few pounds, as you said, in hand. And if he is short, but I can't see a way of siding with him in this field.
Yeah, I think the Real Whacker is one of those, you get to his girth, he just keeps going, doesn't he? So I wouldn't knock Indigo Breeze for that. And this is a different kettle of fish for him. So I think he's got a hell of a chance. We'll move on. We might as well go through all of them, Sean. We'll move on to the 410, the Festina Lente charity, Liffey Valley Shopping Centre, Liffey Handicap, Liffey like the river, Sean, near where you're from. Liffey Handicap Hurdle Grade B, 0-150 over 2 miles. My old friend is in this, isn't he? And Garnet Warrior. And we might as well let you into it. We fancied that he was going to run in this, right? And
a little bit after timing, isn't it, Tom?
It's after timing to the highest. However, I'm going to put it out there because we may end up with egg on our face. And I have a feeling we are going to end up with egg on our face.
None of that now, Tom. No getting windy. We wait till tomorrow at 10.
I'm very windy about this. I tell you, if he does run and if he canters into the straight, you will hear me turn around and say, I'm getting very windy about this time now. We took some of the 4-1. look, he's plenty short now, isn't he? I do think if he runs in this and gets declared, I think he could be a 6-4 shot, to be honest. I think he is. If you look at the ratings, he's off 143, and the next one I fancy is Ikara Len. I was really, really keen on him going into that handicap at Leopardstown. Travelled like an Fairy House, sorry. Travelled like an absolute dream, and then just got a bit tired. He's gone up £2. I think he can be competitive off 142, but Gaelic Warrior is only rated 143. He's only £1 higher than him, and I think Gaelic Warrior is in. I think they probably reckon he's probably £10 better than Ikara Len, and I'd be strong on Ikara Len if he ran here. So, what do you think, Sean? I'm probably siding with the head of the market again here. I promise you, I do have some bigger price ones in the handicaps, but I've got to stick with Gaelic Warrior if he runs, but Ikara Len if he doesn't.
Yeah, no, definitely Gaelic Warrior on here. As you said, we took a little bit forward to him, and there was horses in the market at the time where we felt like weren't going to run. Eric Harry Allen, he's only going to have to give a pound to. Now, I think if he runs, he's either going to win this by 10 lengths or he's not going to win, isn't he? It's going to be one of them. It looks too good. It's either going to happen or it's going to be too good to be true where it's not. The reason I think he is going to go here as well is the left-handed and the jumping. It's a perfect test for it. He doesn't have to go in the grade 1. He's going to run the handicap, which funny enough is for the same money, which just tells you the money that's up for grabs here at the Dublin Racing Festival. He's going to have top weight. If he is that potential grade 1 horse, he is going to carry it and win this. We'll see what his jumping is like. I still feel like if his jumping is a little bit right, he's probably going to get away with it against this field. But it'd be a great test for him and a good aim to see if they're going to go to Cheltenham or not. But Gaelic Warrior will be one of my strongest handicap bets of the weekend if he's in here.
The worry is, isn't it? We might as well say it, is the Patrick Mullins interview yesterday on Sporting Life where he said Gaelic Warrior might just have enough done now to go to Cheltenham.
But you know what, Tom? I learned my lesson that I'm not going to believe a word out of my mouth, right? And I'm going to say he's going to run. You know what? We're going to go confidently and say he's going to run. It all lines up perfect. It gets that trial left-handed. He doesn't have to take on the grade 1s. And that 9-4, as you said, that could, I would say it's a good 13 to 8, 6-4 shot. And if favourites start going in on the day, the bookies will definitely not be taking him off, and he could be going off very, very short on the day.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's one for me that I would like to see him go left-handed as well before Cheltenham. And I think Leopardstown is a galloping track. I think it might be the right place to do that with him. Yeah. Oh, look, I don't know.
Tom, I mean, no, Windy, Tom. We're going all in, and he's running, Tom. Say it. He's going to run and win.
I come 10:05 tomorrow, and we see he's not running. I won't be too surprised either way. But we went through this, Sean, didn't we, when we were discussing it? And you look at the rest of the handicappers in this; they are just handicappers. I think he'd stand out head and shoulders above the rest of them. And if he doesn't run, I think Ikara Len stands out head and shoulders above the rest of them. So look. Don't worry if he doesn't run, Sean. We'll get the anti-post money back on a car.
That hasn't even crossed my mind, Tom. I'm not thinking about that. He's definitely going to run.
I love your confidence. I do. I love it. Right, let's get back to Saturday, and hopefully we'll have loads of money in the pocket anyway. Can
I just slip one more in on the Sunday, Tom? Can I just slip one more in on the Sunday? In the first, the Mares Handicap Hurdle.
The Mares Handicap, and would you believe one I've actually got at a big price as well? Go on. The first race on Sunday, as I said, just as you're easing into it, the eyes are starting to open, the breakfast is settling, you're thinking about that next point. Let's not kid anyone. You've got that next point in your hand, the first point of the day. On we go. Straight in. Irish Stallion Farms, EBF, Paddy Mullins Mares Handicap Hurdle, 2 mile, 1.5. Who wins it, Sean? If you say Risk Bell now as well, by the way, I've just remembered what you've been saying all week. This is a disgrace. This is an absolute disgrace. If this horse runs here, Gaelic Warrior doesn't run this weekend, I'm going to crack up like that.
There's going to be some muggy each way bet here on this Risk Bell, let me tell you. At 6-1 she is. The mare's been an eye catcher since day one for me now. I thought she was a Boodles horse.
You're right about that anyway.
Yeah, I thought she was a Boodles horse. But I reckon they're looking at the prize money up for grabs. She is possibly. She probably could go to Boodles as well, Tom, after this, to be honest with you. But she's in here off 10 stone. She's getting probably the best part is 16 or 17 pounds off the favourite. I'm not even sure the favourite's going to be run, to be honest with you. She is a graded horse, but I don't know if she's going to run or not. But the first day behind Lassie Mouth, this horse showed a bit of a class wrist belt, and she was bang up there with them going over the second last, and I think they got away from her a little bit, but she was definitely no disgrace, finishing fifth that day. She was in behind good horses like Comfort Zone, Zarak the Brave, and then she came out the last day where she really caught the eye now, didn't she? She was given a nice little education ride around there and was not pushed to be too close. And she's got a mark of 123 in here. She's definitely well handicapped. Definitely. Now, I would be worried that the favourite runs. And as I said, 6-1, I'll be taking each way. But if this favourite doesn't turn up, I think she has a smashing chance of winning this off a low weight. And she'd be creeped around, and hopefully she does the business.
Oh, look, what can I say? This has been my Boodle's horse since the first day she ran against Lassie Mouth. Just the way I was watching that race, I was looking out for one. Rachel Rhoda, she was educational on her that day. She was wide on her. She gave her a good look at her hurdles and stuff. She ran on well. And then the next day against Lassie Mouth, I know she got beaten by Fervour, but again, I happened to be there that day. Luke Dempsey came across past the line, and you can only really see it on the video, and he had hands firmly glued to her neck. Firmly glued to her neck. I think she's the Boodle's horse. And yeah, she could go here. She may go here, but we'll see. The only thing, actually, I know I've only just copped this, and this would be interesting, but she won a hurdle race in March 22, right? Maybe she isn't a novice. And is the Boodle's race for novices, or is it just for juveniles? I'm not 100% sure about that.
Oh, I think it's just juvenile. Yeah, good question, to be honest. I'm not going to definitely answer that.
Put a gun to my head, I'd say just juveniles. However, I've never had one good enough to look at it, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, look, if she runs in this, I know she's only a 4-year-old. She'll have 10 stone, 1, 2, 3. I should have an absolute cracking chance. Liberty Dance has also got her chance, hasn't she? Gordon won this last year with Party Central, who looked well handicapped after I think it was that race that it wasn't. No, it wasn't that race. But she came into it after winning a listed race as well, I believe. Liberty Dance does the same. Davy Russell's first retirement was on her. She'll come into this. She's got that foxy girl form that looks very, very strong. I'd say she's better than 129. She'll be a danger to everybody. The one I'm going to throw up is Braganza at a wild price. Now, look, she needs to come back to form. This year has not been good at all for Braganza. But last year, she was 1,439 days off the track when she went into November 21 and a maiden hurdle at Furless, and she won by 6 lengths. She went on then and ran well. She ended up in a Fairy House Grade 3. She finished 5th behind Allegory Devassi. She then went to She then went to the Mares Novice Hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival, were the words I was looking for. She ran really, really well and finished 5th. She was only a nose in front of Impervious that day. Party Central was behind her. That was a really, really good run. End of a long season then. She pulled up at Fairy House in April. I forgive her that. Look, she hasn't come out and run very well at Leopardstown. There's no hiding behind it, behind She Wears It Well. I felt she was given a ride just to finish off her race behind Gaelic Warrior at Clonmel. That said, she still needs to step forward miles on that. But she's in here off 123. She's 33-1. If she could show her old form of last season, she would have a hell of a chance. It isn't if, but you're getting 33-1. So I'd give her a shout in a wide open race. I think that'll be fairly small stakes for me anyway, Sean, that one.
Yeah, no, as I said, I'd definitely be taking each way on Risk Bell, as I think the favourite, if she turns up, is going to be hard to beat. But off that lightweight, you never know. We hold hope.
I can't believe she might turn up there. She's just been booed us off all year for me. That moves us back onto Saturday, as we were going to a few minutes ago, and the 3-mile race and stay at Leopardstown, Handicap Hurdle Grade B, and another horse I cannot believe is turning up. You could have given me any price, this horse would have been entered, let alone turn up, and I wouldn't have backed it. And that is Maxim. Sean, what is he thinking?
I don't know. I've looked at this so many times, and then I look at the price and I say, what is happening here at all? Like, he is no doubt my best handicap bet of this weekend, without doubt. I don't know what he's thinking, unless is he going to go down the stairs route? Is he?
He's not in the stairs, is the thing. He would have to supplement. But if he was going to go down, this is the other thing. If he was going to go down the stairs route, I know the horse has got 11 stone 11, but he's off 138. He's put a £7 claimer up. Now, I would give Kean Quirk a shout out. I've seen him ride a few winners this week. He is very, very good. He is if not the best £7 claimer in the country right now, I think. I think if he gets latched onto by the likes of Gordon Elliott, he'll fly through that £7 claim. But if for me, like that makes him off 131. If you thought you were going to go for the stairs, you'd put Davey up on him and be well confident of winning off 138. It's such a random entry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is a mad one. I couldn't get my head around it all day, and then I can't believe that he's 4-1. Like, he's gone up £18, but as you say, King Quirk takes off 7, so he's up 11. He won the race the last day. Well, I couldn't tell you how many pounds in hands, to be honest with you, because he was so far better than him. He was backed off the boards, and like he's retaken back on Percival. Is it? And like it's the same horse in behind him in the betting. I wouldn't give him a chance at turning that, to be honest with you. Even though he's up and way, I don't give him a hope. He was hard on the bridle with a half furlong to go. Jack Hendy came back up off him. I can't believe the price of 4-1, and he is definitely my best handicap bet this weekend.
It's so strange now. Look, he's 4-1 in one place, but he's 7-2 then across the board. Like, should be an even money shot, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I genuinely thought he'd be 2-1. I'm not going to lie to you. On the day, I can see the money coming flooding for him, and he's probably going to be about 2-1 15 day. I just can't believe that fours is still available at the moment, and it just stuns me. This race just shocks me to pieces.
It's one of those things. It's like, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. But like, how? Like he went up, as you say, £18 he went up for last day. He absolutely demolished a 27 runner field by 16 lengths ease down. He ran to an RPI of 152. Kean Quirk takes £7 off, and he is worth every bit of that £7. So there are no problems or worries there. So he's down to being only put up £11. So you ask yourself, would he have won with £11 more at Leopardstown at Christmas? Yes.
He would have won with 111 earlier, looking at that.
Mental. And just look, I always bring it up with him. Never forget the great Davy Russell. He got beat off 99 around Punchestown. Go on, Davy. Yeah. I just don't know. It's like, it's too good to be true, surely. I mean, if 7-2, he's well handicapped, good claimer on board. GSI, no?
Oh, Tom, this is GSI Miami, let me tell you that. This is nap material. An early one for the listeners, but this is nap for the meeting for me, to be honest with you.
I just don't get it. I'm just shocked because he should go and win the Potence off. I think he's got 145 in the UK. I can't believe that unless Gordon thinks actually he's probably
can win it again.
He probably thinks like maybe he's not a 145 horse, and maybe I'm just putting this out there. I'm just trying to think what Gordon Elliott would be thinking here. And does he think maybe he's not a 145 horse? He's not good enough. But then he could put Kean Quirk on him in the bloody Pretemps, and he'd be down to 138 in the UK. Like, I don't know. It's just very, very strange for me. The one I was going to put up is O'Fleury to run a good race. But by God, that was like taking him out and grasping and saying, this one will be 16-1. Kieran Buckley rides. Looked like it wanted to step up and trip last time. Some good form last year. Finished 7th in the Mountain Pipe, only beaten 9 lengths. I think that'll run a massive race. I'll back that each way at 16s, but I'm in shock that horse is running. But it's even like the second one is there. It's in the 5th one. Like, no way should that turn around to 4. No.
I think I'm just gonna have to take your money out of your wallet here, Tom, and just go back to 5 because I don't think you're gonna do it.
You are. I can just see myself stood there after the race when he's won 10 lengths, going, why did he back that? What do they say? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, isn't that it? I mean, it's just it's a strange one, really. Anyway, we will move on, and this is the last race we are going to preview. I don't know if we were meant to go through the whole card. An hour and 10 minutes, not too bad. We've gone through the whole card. You leave this up to me, and Sean. It's always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
However, we get to the 4:10 at Leopardstown on Saturday. 2 mile one, Paddy Power, Cheltenham Fan Zone, Handicap Chase, Grade B, 0 to 150. I have got the winner of this. Sean, have you?
I'm not too sure, but I'm hoping that he can keep his winning pattern going, and it's going to be Final Orders. Our price is 7 to 2 in here. He's on a winning train, and as I said, I hope this just keeps going. He's won what was it, four of his last 6? He's won 5 of his last 6 races. He's up £9 from Christmas, but he went off the front, and staying is not an issue as he's won over further. And I think they got to him a little bit, but then his staying on, he wasn't quite comfortable at the line, didn't he? He pulled away by 4 lengths. I think get my drift. I'm not sold by him. Rebel Gold is up a hike in the weights from the last day now, and we know who Dave O'Keefe is going to be backing in this, don't we, Tom?
Hey, look, me and Dave paired together. I didn't join in with him last year. I'm joining in with him this year. Me and Dave will be stood there. We'll walk down the stand and we'll go up to the bookies and we'll say, "Hello, kind sir. I would like some money on a Wave of the Sea. Number 1, please. And I'll be back in 10 minutes to come and collect." So that's what me and Dave will be doing around 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon at Leopardstown. Who you got? You're going with Final Order, Sean. Yeah, I was just a little bit concerned. Look, he did win well. Again, I was there. We had a runner in the race last day. That was off 129. He ran to an RPR of 140, and they put him up to 140. They put him up £11. I just think he got fairly battered by that. And I think, I'm just a little bit concerned that he got, maybe this race, maybe if they put him up £5, he might have had enough one in him. I'm not sure if he can win off 140, but look, he could. As you say, Rebel Gold in very good form. Patrick Foley, it should be mentioned, has taken over the license there and is absolutely flying. He's doing great things. Was second behind Mascada, as we already mentioned, at Limerick. Came out with Frank the Form at Fairyhouse and won really well. Again, up £8. I'm going to go with a horse who's coming down in the weights, I think. Get my drift. Look, it's there for all to see, isn't it? 3 runs in beginners and novice chases. 3rd behind Hollow Games being 9 lengths. Well beat behind Marva de Crecy. And then 3rd of 9 beat 22 lengths behind Appreciate It. Gets a mark of 130, £2 lower than its hurdle mark. Looks an absolute handicap blot. Now, my only thing is, you could say that again based on his hurdle form, right? He had a chance in a couple of big handicaps. He went off 11 to 2 favour for a handicap at Christmas last year, and he finished 3rd. He came 8th, and he got well beaten at Leopardstown again at the Dublin Racing Festival on better ground of 134. My concern is that horse now, look, where's the tongue tie? I know they've stuck the cheap pieces on him. He's 1 from 12. He's not my kind of bet in a handicap of 3 to 1, to be honest. I'd much rather go with a Wave of the Sea. He was going for his 3rd win in this race. Won it last year off 142 with Shane Fitzgerald taking £5 off. And so that gave you 137. He's running this year off 144 with Aidan Kelly, who's another very good young £7 claimer, taking 7 off. So he's effectively on the same mark there of 137 as well. He's basically had the same campaign. He fell in the Paddy Power last year. He finished 14th of 28, beating 29 lengths in it this year. He's been freshened up, I'm sure. He got put up to 150 after he won last year. He's down £6. He's got the claimer on board. I think he's got a hell of a chance of repeating. You can guarantee they've had this in mind and it's been the plan. Joseph's been in good form. His jumpers have been running well. I think 7 to 1, I think is a bit short than that elsewhere. But I think that's a hell of a good each way bet. And as I was saying, my each way treble that I've done is We've All Been Caught, Gust of Wind, and A Wave of the Sea is the one who backs that up there. So I think he's got a hell of a chance. Ignore his form figures, go on his Leopardstown form, especially his Dublin Racing Festival form, and I think he can win. And myself and Dave from Clover. Sean, you've already given yours away.
Yeah, do you know what? Just because there's so much racing, I'm gonna give me 2 best bets on the 2 days. Just because there's so much to cover. So I'd say my best bet on the Saturday would be Maxim in the 3-mile handicap hurdle, and my next best on the day would be Appreciate in the Arkle, a very hot Arkle, but I think he's gonna show his class. And then on the Sunday, my nap would be Gaelic Warrior, and my next best would be Lily Duberlay. And I just have a message in here from Mr. Dave O'Keefe, and he's given us his nap for 2 days. And his nap on the Saturday is going to be A Wave of the Sea, and his nap on the Sunday will be Mighty Power. And that's the 2 of those.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll give mine for the both days as well. No, it's tricky. There's loads of each way bets for me. I think a flurry on. I think that one will run well and place. I think A Wave of the Sea is an each way good thing. So that would be my nap. And my next best of Boo Boo, You've All Been Caught as well each way. I just think it's just some real good standout each way bets where you're going to be in the places, I feel. And then on the Sunday, if Gaelic Warrior runs, he'd be my nap. I think he's miles better than them. If Akara Len runs, he'd be my next best. And Indigo Breeze would be my nap. If Gaelic Warrior runs, he's my nap. Indigo Breeze next best. And if Gaelic Warrior doesn't run,
no, Tom, there's none of that. Gaelic Warrior's going to run, I'd say.
Indigo Breeze is nap and Akara then as next best. Look, Sean, thank you very much. We got an hour and 16 out of this.
I think we've done a good job, Tom.
I think we've done a fairly good job. We'll find out. The boss will tell us afterwards. But look, everybody, thanks for watching. If you're at Leopardstown this weekend, be sure to come and say hello. It was really nice last year seeing everyone and people come and say hello to us. Great to meet you all. And yeah, come over, have a bit of crack. We'll have a laugh, watch a race. And yeah, Sean, thank you very much. Looking forward to the weekend and a few pints.
Oh, Tom, this weekend is going to be incredible. I don't think I'm going to sleep for the next 2 days. Just the thoughts of everything that's going to happen. I could just imagine if someone went around with a camera with us for the weekend, the stuff you'd capture. But two more sleeps and we're off to Leopardstown for fantastic 2 days racing.
Lovely. Right. Best of luck, lads. I hope you back loads of winners and enjoy the Dublin Racing Festival. And yeah, back loads of winners and have a good time. And we'll see you up there if you're there. Best of luck.